Kim Jong Un fires top general, orders North Korean military to gild for war. Seoul, South Korea CNN. North Korea leader Kim Jong Un has fired his top general amid a shakeup of country's military leadership and wants his army to gild for the war, state media reported Thursday. General Park Soo-il was dismissed as chief of the general chief, and Vice Marshal Lee Yong-gil was appointed in his place, according to the state-run Korean Central News Agency. Other leading commanding officers were dismissed, transferred, or appointed during a meeting of the Central Military Commission on Wednesday, KCNA reported without going into details. North Korea leader Kim Jong Un leads a meeting of Central Military Commission in Pyongyang, North Korea on Wednesday. North Korea regularly revamped its military leadership, but military leaders later re-emerge in different positions, while others disappear from public view. And the career of the new top general Lee, who assumed the number two job in the North Korean military hierarchy as recently as December 31st, reflected that analysts said. Lee Yong-gil was the long-standing member of North Korea's military elite who, before making it to the top, experienced ups and downs during his career. 7 years ago, he was even rumored to have been executed from after a personnel reshuffle, said Louis Eric Easley, professor of international studies at Ewha Woman University in Seoul. Chong Song Chang, a senior analyst at the Sejong Institute, a private think tank near Seoul, said there may be a range of reasons behind Kim's military reshuffle and it was not necessarily punitive. Since Kim Jong Un has frequently promoted, demoted, and dismissed the executives according to their ability to perform duties. Dismissal of executives may be holding them accountable, but it is inappropriate to consider them as punishment, Chong said. Easily said, the North Korean leader may simply be trying to ensure that no one below him becomes too powerful. Kim Jong Un frequently rotates leadership posts below him to prevent the emergency in North Korea of anyone like Wagner Group founder Sergei Prigozhin, who challenged Russian President Vladimir Putin's authority after amassing personal control of financial assets and loyalty among armed forces, easily said. Grave military situation. The shakeup of the military leadership was mentioned only near the end of the KCNA report, which focused more on what it said was the important issue of making the army more thoroughly skilled for a war, given the grave political and military situation prevailing in the Korean Peninsula. South Korea and its chief ally, the United States, were not mentioned by the name in the report. However, it appeared to refer to them obviously, saying the meeting analyzed the military moves of the chief corporate of a deteriorated situation on the peninsula. Making full war preparations was the top agenda item for the meeting, the KCNA report said. The present situation in which the hostile forces are getting ever more undisguised in their reckless military confrontation with the DPRK, Democratic People's Republic of Korea, requires the latter's army to have more positive, proactive, and overwhelming will and th- thoroughgoing and perfect military readiness for war, he said. North Korea has ramped up its military rhetoric this summer, threatening to shoot down U.S. reconnaissance planes and retaliate for the protocol of the U.S. nuclear-capable ballistic missile submarine to South Korea for the first time in 4 decades. Pyongyang has also showcased its advance in ballistic missile technology, last month testing what it said was the Hwasong 18 intercontinental ballistic missile called the ICBM with a flight time that suggests it has the ability to strike the US mainland. That weapon was among the slew of others shown off and what North Korea called its Victory Day parade last month, the commemoration of the armistice that ended the fighting in the Korean War 70 years ago. Technically, the two Koreas remain at war as no formal peace treaty was ever signed. At Wednesday's meeting in Pyongyang, Kim signed orders that were drills involving the country's newest weapons. Kim late last week toured the arms and munitions factories and gave important directions regarding capacity building for the serial production of new ammunition, the KCNA report said. Amid the tension on the peninsula, the South Korea announced that this month it'll hold a nationwide civil defense drill on August 32nd, 30, 22nd, 23. Most of the country's 51 million residents are expected to practice evacuating to shelters or underground safe, safe spaces during the 20-minute exercise, which Seoul says is in response to provocations from Pyongyang.